Verses 1 to 7. Islands, listen to me. Pay attention, distant peoples. The everlasting God called me before I was born, and named me from my mother's womb. God made my mouth a sharp sword, and hid me in the shadow of the hand of the Most High. The Almighty made me into a sharpened arrow and concealed me in God's quiver. The Holy One said to me, "You are my servant Israel, in whom I will be glorified." I had been thinking, I have toiled in vain. I have exhausted myself for nothing. Yet, all the while my cause was with the everlasting, and my reward was with my God. Thus says the everlasting, who formed me from the womb to be God's servant, who destined me to bring back the children of Jacob and gather again the people of Israel. It is not enough for you to do my bidding, to restore the tribes of Leah, Rachel, and Jacob, and bring back the survivors of Israel. I will make you the light of the nations, so that my salvation may reach out to the ends of the earth.
The problem with restoration is that it assumes something is worth returning to. The servant in Isaiah has been laboring to restore the tribes, making whole what was broken in exile, but God says it is not enough. Restoration to what was is too small a vision for what must be. Any human system that defies belonging by descent, that measures worth by membership, that can't imagine healing beyond its own boundaries, will eventually fail its people. The structures we create to protect us become the walls that will eventually confine us. We are being pulled towards something unprecedented, something that requires vision, reaching to the ends of the earth precisely because it cannot be contained within any tribal boundary we construct. The Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. understood this. When he spoke of the beloved community, he was calling for transformation of the structures themselves, a genuine, multiracial, multi-ethnic, economically just community where no one was expendable. Dr. King connected Black liberation to economic justice, to opposition of militarism, to solidarity with colonized people worldwide. He refused to separate freedom for Black people from universal dignity. This insistence that all struggles for justice are interconnected is what made him a target. Black liberation is central to any vision of beloved community in the United States, because white supremacy is the foundational lie that organized this nation around who counts as fully human. Some of us carry that weight of distortion in our bodies and in our histories. Others of us benefit from structures built on that lie. All of us, are shaped by it. All of us are responsible for transforming it. This extends to all people, those marginalized by powers and systems. Indigenous peoples whose land was stolen, Latinx communities targeted by immigration enforcement, Asian Americans scapegoated, LGBTQ plus people denied dignity, people with disabilities excluded, every person who has been told they do not fully belong. Right now, ICE conducts raids that separates families. Detention centers hold thousands whose only crime was seeking safety. The right to protest is met with state violence. Asylum is criminalized. Migrants drown because we have made legal pathways impossible. When anyone's humanity is violated, we are all diminished. Dr. King named this. We are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality. Whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. The servant in Isaiah says, I have toiled in vain. I have exhausted myself for nothing. This is honesty. The servant has been working within an inadequate framework. You cannot restore what was never sufficient. Many of us know this exhaustion. Those of us fighting for survival, for dignity, for recognition of our humanity. We have been doing this work our whole lives. We are tired. And then we are told the vision must expand. The work must reach further. God does not offer comfort with promises of reward. God says, I will make you so that my healing may reach to the ends of the earth. When John the Baptist identifies Jesus as the one who takes away the sin of the world, he's making a claim about scope, the whole web of brokenness that distorts how we relate, how we organize power, how we decide what matters. This is what makes Jesus so dangerous. Is exactly the same way that the servant Isaiah is dangerous. And Dr. King was dangerous in this way too. They all refuse to work in the logic of tribalism. They're all insisting healing must reach everyone, or it is not healing at all. The work is never about creating a better tribalism. Any framework that creates insiders and outsiders, that hoards grace, is already participating in the world's brokenness. Moving beyond our tribe is not about transcending identities. It's about refusing to weaponize them, refusing to build our security on someone else's vulnerability. For those of us who carry privilege, this means refusing to defend that privilege. It means working to dismantle those structures that make our comfort depend on someone else's suffering. For those of us who have been marginalized, this means refusing to replicate the logic that harmed us. It means insisting that our liberation is bound up in everyone else's liberation. This is what Dr. King meant by beloved community. Not that we pretend that differences don't exist, but that we refuse to let tribalism determine who deserves dignity and who counts as fully human. When Jesus asked, "What are you looking for?" he is asking all of us to examine our assumptions. Come and see, he says. What is being offered is not restoration, but transformation. Not your tribe winning, but tribalism itself being challenged. Not salvation for some, but healing for the entire earth. Andrew comes, sees, and immediately he goes to find Simon. But what has he found? A different way of being in the world, a way that refuses boundaries he has been taught to maintain. Jesus names Simon, calls him Peter, rock, foundation. You will be foundation of something that does not yet exist. For a community organized differently, for a way of being human that takes seriously our fundamental interconnectedness. Peter spends the rest of his life trying to figure out what all this means, trying to discern what expanding the circle and when he is creating new exclusions. This is the work we inherit. We cannot escape the identities that formed us. The call is to refuse to let identity function as a weapon, to refuse to let it determine whose suffering we notice and whose dignity we defend. Every identity that we carry places us somewhere in the systems that determine who counts as fully human. The work is refusing to let our positions determine the boundaries of our concern. Dr. King wrote, quote, "We must live to learn together as brothers and sisters, or perish together as fools." Beloved, this is reality. We are fundamentally interconnected. What affects one directly affects all of us indirectly. When Palestinians are harmed, when trans children are legislated out of existence, when migrants drown, when anyone is dehumanized, we are all wounded because there is no them, there's only us. This is why moving beyond tribe is not optional. It is recognition of what is already true. We are already beyond our tribe. The work is learning to live in accordance with that reality. And this work must begin now. Every time we refuse tribal logic, we make the beloved community more visible. Every time we stand with those whose rights are being violated, we participate in what must happen. Beloved community may not be fully realized in any of our lifetimes. The servant toils without seeing complete results. Dr. King was murdered before his vision was achieved. Even though we may not see completion, the work matters right now. Whether we've been harmed by these systems or whether we have benefited from them, we do not get to wait. We build beloved community in this moment with these people. So we work. Not to earn anything, but because the work itself participates in the healing of the world. Because every time we refuse tribal categories, we reveal what is already true. Because every time we choose mutuality, we make visible what Jesus embodied. What are we looking for? If we look for comfort, for answers that do not require us to change, we'll be disappointed. If we're looking for affirmation of our tribe alone, we are looking in the wrong place. But if we're looking for work that heals the world, for vision that extends to everyone, for every way to live takes seriously our interconnectedness, then the invitation is come and see. Come and discover that beloved community is what we reveal when we dismantle everything that obscures our fundamental connection. This work must happen now in our choices, in our resistance, in our solidarity. The vision will keep expanding. We will labor and wonder if we're making any difference. Even though beloved community may not be realized in our lifetimes, we participate in something real right now. The actual healing of the world happening in our choices, in our work, in our refusal to accept tribal boundaries as final. That is what it means to move beyond our tribe. We keep building beloved community now, all of us, from wherever we stand, trusting that the work itself makes real what Jesus revealed, that we're already connected, already called to love without boundaries, already participating in healing the whole world. Amen.